Hi guys, my name is Noor and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I am going to do the TBR tag. This is a tag that is, as you can hear in the name, is about your own TBR and how you will manage it, what's on it, how many are on it. So let's get started with the questions and see how big my TBR really is. So the first question is, how do you keep track of your TBR? So I keep track on my TBR or with my TBR on like with two different tools. I use Goodreads. So I have a little map on Goodreads where I called it TBR, and that are all my physical TBR books. My ebooks that I own, I just put them in the map want to read, and also in that map are books that I want to buy. So it's a bit confusing maybe. For me it's okay. I do think the most important thing for me is keeping track of my physical TBR, so that's why I got that separate map on Goodreads. And then I also made a Excel file. Do you say Excel? Excel file, and I keep track of my series and my duologies. So the series I own and started, or just own and haven't started yet, they are all in that Excel file. And I also put on the dates of when they are releasing if they haven't released yet. So that's how I keep track with owning the full series and reading the full series, and I can tick it off every time I read a book, and that's how it works for me the best. Then the second question is your TBR mostly print or ebooks? Well, as you can see behind me, I have most of my books in print. I must say I grow this collection over a year and a half, 2 years, which is quite quickly. And I must say most of the books I haven't read yet. You will know by the end of the video how much that are exactly, but you know, that's for later. We're not gonna expose ourselves yet. But so I mostly do read printed books, like just physical books, but I do also read ebooks because I do have a ebook. So a Kindle, I'm sorry. So I do read ebooks. So the next question is, how do you determine which book you're gonna read next on your TBR? Well, that's hard. That's a hard question. I did make a TBR, a little TBR at the beginning of this month. So I do hope to keep track of that. But on the side of tracking or choosing out of my TBR, I am just an immense mood reader. I cannot help it. It's how I am. Sometimes I set up a whole TBR like, oh yeah, I want to read that, and then I finish a book and I want to have something totally different. The only thing that I do, or is fairly easy for me, is I do read a lot of fantasy or thrillers. I don't really read any other genre. So I will always almost choose the same genre, but it's just, it depends. Like, I'm just a mood reader, so I just choose in what mood I am and I choose that book and I read it off my TBR. So it's that simple, guys. It's that simple. Okay, so then the next question is a book that's been on your TBR for the longest, and that is To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christo. I don't own this book physically, but it is on my TBR the longest, so I do own it in ebook or as an ebook version. It's been on there for a while. I have not ever started it, I think. But it's still on there. I'm not taking it off yet because I'm still kind of interested in it. So maybe I'll get to it at sometime in my life. We'll see. But yeah, that's the book that's been the longest on the list and I did not read yet. So yeah. Then the next question is a book you added recently to your TBR, or the most recently to your TBR. And that is Gravebriar by KCL Bond. I bought this book because I saw it on Instagram. I have no idea what this book is about, but I tell you why I bought it. I'll show you why I bought it. So this is the art under the dust jacket. So yeah, that's why I bought it. This is my most recently add book on my TBR. So yeah. Then the next question is a book that's strictly on your TBR because of the cover, or yeah, a cover by, and that is Broken Bonds by G. I'll show you, or try to show you the cover. It is so beautiful, this cover, and I bought this book based on the cover. I did read the blurb before I bought it, or I read the blurb before I bought it, but it got my attention because of the cover. I do love character art on covers. I love them, especially like these kind of character arts. So yeah, this one is on my TBR purely for the cover, but I heard great things about this book, so I do hope it's like a win-win. Beautiful cover, cool story. We'll see. We'll see. Then the next question is a book on your TBR that you plan on never reading. And I searched on my Goodreads, and it's pretty, like, I think some people will kind of be angry on me for it, but I am not planning to read The Night Circus. I did put it on my like want to read or TBR. I don't own a physical copy. I don't own an e-version of it, but I do wanted to read The Night Circus a couple of years ago, but now I'm just not interested in it anymore. I know it's still like a pretty hyped up book, but I've heard it's very lyrical, like it's a very lyrical story, and I'm not sure if I'm into lyrical stories. I am more into like plot and action and, you know, that kind of stories. So I think that's actually kind of my reason why I will probably never read it. I'm not really interested anymore, and I think I might remove it from my want to read shelf on Goodreads. So yeah, I am so sorry guys if I offended you. And then the next question is an unpublished book you are really excited for, and that is Bloodmarked by Tracy Dion. This is the second book. The first book is Legendborn, and I am very excited for it. At first, when I read Legendborn, I was not blown away. So the more time that has passed, I do think I like this book more than in the beginning. But yeah, that's the book I'm very excited for, and hopefully, I do think it only comes out in November, so it's still a while, but I'm very excited for it, and I hope to add it to my TBR. Yeah. Then the next question is a book that's on your TBR that everyone have read except you, and that was a very easy question, and that is For Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Sorry, I have troubles like speaking today. So yeah, Jennifer L. Armentrout's books are very popular, especially on TikTok, and I've been intrigued. I've tried the audiobook. I was 8 hours into the audiobook, and then I stopped because I don't like audiobooks. I do tend to read them when I am traveling, but I went to Mexico, I came back, and I stopped listening. I put it off my currently reading shelf on Goodreads, and I've not picked it up since, but I've heard so many people rave about it. But I've listened 8 hours to the book, and I'm not missing it. I'm not missing the characters, I'm not missing the story, but I'm not saying never, you know? It's a maybe. So yeah, that's a book that I haven't read yet. Then a book on my TBR that everyone recommends me, not me personally, because I don't have a lot of bookish friends yet. But I see everyone on TikTok, on Instagram, on BookTube raving about this book, and it's Circe by Madeline Miller. Sorry. It's a beautiful book, by the way. It's very beautiful. It's a like Greek retelling about Circe. I heard it's a really powerful book that a lot of people feel really empowered by it. So that's why it's really intriguing to me. That's why I'm owning this book. And I've seen everyone like really raving about it. So I'm really curious to see how I find this book. So yeah. And the next question is a book on your TBR that you're dying to read. I must say, I know it's lame, but I am excited to read all of my books on my shelves. I just love the idea that every book or every series I own has a different kind of story, a different kind of world that I can visit, so many worlds, that I'm able to visit so many worlds while living in this boring one. So yeah, I know it's a lame answer, but I do think all of them. I am excited to read every one of those books on my shelves. So yeah. And then the last question, and the most exposing question, and that is, how many books do you have on your TBR? And for answering this question, I am just talking about all the books here, there, and there. You cannot see it, but there are some books over there. So my amount of unread, so I did not read any of the books that I'm counting in this number. I have to check it, double check it. It's 107 books. I own 107 books that I have not read yet. So I know that's a lot. I am very happy and I feel very grateful that I own so many books. I see reading and buying books as a different kind of hobby. But you know, I have no other hobby than reading, so that's why I buy so many books. But I'm really on a book buying ban, so I'm really trying to lower it down by the end of the year. So we'll see, we'll see. Hopefully we'll get to like half of it. We'll see, whatever. So that were all the questions for today, or for today's tag. If you have any other questions, if you have recommendations for me, if you want to be bookish friends, just let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and like this video. It really helps my channel grow and I would be very happy if you did. And then I hopefully see you in my next video. Bye!